Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Poland Daily Travel. I'm Will Richardson and I'm in Łomża on the Narew River. I should say the beautiful Narew River. Look at that peaceful river. It's just waiting for you and your kayak or canoe or even paddle boat. Some people like paddle boats. Not me. And look, it's almost like looking across a fen, isn't it? Someplace like Norfolk or Suffolk to see the church in the distance there. Some people might call that a floodplain. I don't think they get a huge amount of floods here. It's not a massive river the way the Vistula would be prone to flooding on occasion, or the Oder or the Odra River in eastern Poland. But this is another city, 10 centuries old. This area has been fought over by the Prussians, the Russians, and the Poles forever, in different guises, under different unifications, under different rulers, with different co-conspirators, if you will, or allies. It's another way of looking at it. At any rate, at one point during the partitions, this was in Prussia. It was right on the edge of Russia and Prussia, the German area. So it has a mixture of cultures. We wanted to take you and show you the Old Town Square, which has totally been redone. There's some beautiful redone kamenices or large tenement houses. But we can't do that because the whole thing is under construction. And I mean the whole square. Everything. There's a big fence around it, and it's not a small square. So finally, someone is giving some attention to Łomża, which has been a place which is a bit overlooked for both tourism and just curiosity, really. It's a place you pass through on your way to the less crowded and more salubrious, the healthier locations in the Lake District, or straight on towards the border with Belarus to the Biebrza National Forest, which is great. We'll have to go back there again. We were there in the winter. Everything was frozen. It was still beautiful. You could just feel the life hibernating underneath the ice and the snow. But that area, like this area, is rich and beautiful this time of year. And in fact, the Narew flows through the Biebrza Park that direction. At any rate, we're way over here on the east and headed further east. And I suggest that you take this drive along the Narew or the Bug rivers. They're both fantastic. You get to see the real Poland. You get off the beaten track. Plenty of nice places to eat. You can always check your internet guide for what's good locally. There's plenty of good alternatives and plenty of nice, decent places to stay, whether it's an agro-tourist or a 5-star hotel. There's a few of those too. And plenty of agro-tourism. And you stay nice in a nice place in the countryside. You go a few kilometers from here and you're just right out in the countryside, and you can ride horses or go kayaking, ride bicycles, do whatever your heart desires. It's found these machines. You know, the European community was very nice, the European Union, and they put up all these playgrounds and exercise machines all over Poland. So I just decided I would try for the first time the rowing machine. And it's quite useful. I'm not getting a lot of action on my latissimus dorsi, whatever that is. I heard that that's what they exercise. But what I am getting is a sweat, which I didn't need, because it's already about 90 degrees Fahrenheit, or whatever that is, 31 or 2, 33, something like that. At any rate, this is a lot of fun if you like torture. So I recommend very highly that when you're in Poland, you also stop off at these many locations and torture yourself. Really, it's a lot of fun. I recommend it. We're in a place called Nowogród, which is near, it's right on the river. You're going to see the river through there, the Narew, and it's close to Łomża, on the way to Łomża. This is a really neat place that I have been to several times when in this area. You will find a lot of people boating on the river. There's a lot of kayaking and people practicing their rowing for competition. The reason I stopped here is that this fellow is Adam Chetnik, is represented by the fellow with the walking stick and the camera and the coat slung over his arm. And he was an ethnographer who was writing about the Kurpi people, the people who live in this area. And these two ladies in wood are wearing the local costume, particularly the one to the right of Mr. Chetnik. So his idea was to open a scanson which would be dedicated to these people. What is a scanson? Well, it's an open-air museum that celebrates the folklore and the folk culture of a particular region. And this is a very special region because the Kurpi people have their own traditions and their own way of doing things, particular types of customs and clothing and food and the like. So original that Mr. Chetnik thought he, as a dedicated ethnographer, should in fact do something about it. So, without further ado, let's walk down to the village and show you some of the buildings. These are fairly steep steps. As you can see, that is the Narew River flowing into Łomża. You see a boat down there on it, but on the weekends, it's Friday today, on the weekends you'll often see a lot of people in kayaks, especially in weather like this, and people on the competitive rowing boats doing their thing. These are typical houses. You can see they're very neat, almost like mountain houses, aren't they? But in their simplicity, there's a beauty in the art. Look at the way the columns are cut. You know, they're using artistry. There's not a lot of money there, but they know how to blend in with their surroundings and make the most of it, and also create beauty. I mean, these are beautiful little shacks. You don't find beautiful shacks like this in Appalachia, where people were poor as well. So there's an artistry to these people, and the ability to shoot, and the hunting and fishing that they were so good at, but also in creating their own clothing, jewelry, types of food, and the like, and the way their society operated. Many people who are coming here were escaping from other parts of Poland, particularly from the West, where they would be more at under the control of the existing princes. So, nice place to come and start your Robin Hood existence. I can see why Mr. Chetnik was so fascinated with these particular people, because they're quite unique in Poland. I mean, you have, of course, the Highlanders in the south, and Zakopane and those areas, and then other types of Highlanders, not just in the Tatra.